when Chibok happened 14 years ago, our present president was one of the people at the forefront shouting that there's insecurity in Nigeria, blah, blah, blah. He came with renewed hope. At least he should have come with a good plan for, this is how I want to cure insecurity. He has not done that. Signing executive order, I think it should be coming from the president. Let me land, please, from President Tinubu. It's not just Oyo State. This thing is beyond signing executive orders for vigilantes. Why can't we spend money on technical gadgets that we use to fight this insecurity once and for all? Yeah. Look, the buck stops at President Ahmed Tinubu's table. People are dying. That man that they just beheaded. That's why this morning I came here. I said I'm not going to pick any paper. I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of seeing as if I'm cynical. What are we saying? We cannot shift blame to any Oyo State. It's Tinubu. One of his primary duties is to making sure that lives and people's life are secured. Yeah. He came with renewed hope. He lied to us. That's what is happening. People are dying. Apart from the fact that they are eking out an existence, going to school to teach students. Your mind is not at rest. It can be anybody tomorrow. It can be me. It can be you. It can be anybody. They should stop it. Tinubu should do something about insecurity.
Definitely. I think this is definitely the mind of every single Nigerian. Because sometimes when we take these headlines, it seems like it's so far away. Yeah. But then when the Oyo girls were kidnapped, it showed that it was closer to home than we actually thought. Yeah. I mean, thankfully now they've, released, some of them, as the report we got this morning. Some of them have been released them. There was one that I saw one.
They always come and lie. Hey. They will lie. The whatever they come and lie in the papers. Even in the papers, people are dying. Our president has not come out to say, he has not deemed it fit to say, oh, somebody has died in somewhere in Oshogbo. Let me even talk to my people. It's as if Okweru Lawa. Whatever happens, 2027 primaries are going on today across the board. That is all they are after. If people are dying, they can wait. They can be dying until when we get there in 2027. Maybe then the renewed hope will be ignited. It is very bad. It is very wrong. All you people supporting, advising the president, please talk to him. People are dying. We are not even saying come and feed us. Just secure our lives. You have the money, you have the resources. Instead, you are spending it on things that are not significant to us, the people.
For a country like ours, definitely protecting the lives and property of people is and should be priority, right? So emotions are high, definitely. And we're hoping, yet again, as we always do, that we see some form of significant improvement. We don't want to have to come and take these headlines again, which is why even when I was looking for a headline this morning, I mean, on most of the papers, it was plastered, something about insecurity. And I really was just looking for a little bit of hope.
I mean, I was looking at, I don't even know how to feel right now, but I was looking at the headline that was talking about NUT threatening strike over schools being targeted. And I went to look up these stories, and I saw that last year there was a story about NUT threatening, same newspapers as far back as 2024 are talking about NUT threatening nationwide strike over targeted schools, attacks on schools. Yeah. But I don't know, I see a lot of social media posts of people saying, why are we living life as normal? But what do we do? How do we galvanize? How do we get out there to ensure that this is serious? Because truly someone was talking about how she was talking her child to bed, but even me, I still had a nightmare 2 nights ago. That God forbid, what if these are children who, I mean, I don't know how they're feeding. I don't know how they are in kidnappers' den. And life is going on as normal. Everybody's, posting as normal. Primaries are going on. They're talking about consensus or no consensus. What do we need to jerk us?
So everybody doing their own.
I think that, I mean that I admit that emotions are high, but like they say in Yoruba, people need to calm down, and look at things dispassionately.
It's not dispassionate. It can be me tomorrow. It's at our doorstep. And I guess it's not dispassionate.
Yes, but we must continue to.
You can house can exist. They cannot handle what is happening. We need technical power. People that will fight. If they want to, they are dilly-dallying with the Americans. If you want to bring them in, if you want mercenaries, bring them. You can go anything. You lie to us.
And I think 2 things can exist.
So let me go, so there are 2 types of, insecurities in Nigeria. There are people who are ideological, those ones are like Boko Haram. And there are some, I've always been saying it on this, table. And there are some ragtags, bandits, that the reason why they are doing it is because maybe they see some southerners going into Yahoo and they feel that, they are not as sophisticated, so they too can be kidnapping. Someone that did not go to school, that was listening to radio. That's how you see them on TikTok. Do you get it? So they too want to front cash. They want to do. So those are non-ideological, insecurity challenges that we have, and those ones can be handled by police. If I put local vigilantes, and like I said, policing is local. And I know that government, I don't want to talk about government, I'm talking about in a state. If you are somewhere now, you live, this is Yagonku.
Yeah.
People can monitor any strange, movement, any strange, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Before you escalate it,
beyond
before we have not gone. I gave an example. I gave an example.
Can see like 20 kilometers away. How many people
like that?
Chude was there. Did you see the video where Chude was there? And those guys were saying, they've left us here. Nobody's protecting us.
We don't get it.
It's not people.
Police is. I'm not talking about ideological like Boko Haram. I'm talking about
like random.
Yes, no, like no. See, I can send it to you. 4 years ago, the House of Assembly member representing that constituency raised it on the floor of the house that we noticed the string. Why did government not do anything?
No, why didn't Tinubu do something? He campaigned based on this. He fought Jonathan.
But he cannot do without the government.
Governors are collecting security.
To look for the eye of the fish. Go to the head.
Yeah.
You knew the lay of the land. You were fighting Jonathan. I also fought Jonathan. I decided not to vote for Jonathan because of the way he handled Chibok guests. So you knew. You were there right from Nadeko. All along, you should have gone to you gather things in your arsenal that you used to fight insecurity. They should not shift the blame. And we have the money and resources.
Also, just because I disagree with how someone's handling something doesn't necessarily mean that, and I know there's not an excuse, doesn't mean that if they get there, even Obi or whoever, anybody can get there and realize that. So it doesn't mean that he should not have criticized Jonathan. So I think where I get it wrong is that, why did you criticize Jonathan when you don't have a clue? No. But because I see something bad happening, doesn't mean that I will literally have a solution for it. So that's what I'm saying. So coming from this, no. So I think that
she's also saying that government should not do anything.
Of another 4 years to come, which you will get anyway, because we are like decapacitated as it were. We don't really have a say when it comes to election in Nigeria. I don't know, vote, don't vote. People when go win. We know what they happen for Nigeria.
All right, but I told you, I mean, we definitely have to rest this headline, because the truth is, if we keep at it, we would literally go on and on. There are so many angles to this. Yes, there is local policing that we've mentioned before. There is still the responsibility of the federal government. There are questions of, the borders that are usually mostly massively unprotected. What are we doing in that case? And then the role of technology as well in fighting, insecurity and getting us intelligence as well to prevent many of these happenings, especially now that we see it seems like school children or schools are now the major target, right? So I mean, there are many
so where do we draw the line
out there?
Where do we draw the line?
I mean, one would hope that, I mean, from Chibok girls, Dapchi girls, and the sequence over time, it seems like a target is on schools, especially in rural areas.
I don't agree that it's only schools.
No, I said a target. It doesn't mean that there are not other targets.
Okay, because like I said, if you are traveling, 2 people were kidnapped at Queen yesterday.
Yes.
So if you are traveling on Ijebu Ode Road,
that's why I also mentioned borders, right? Even along, if you're going to Benin City, along
Auchi, we've seen patterns of schools also being targeted. Yes. Where those guys, that school, the students that were Catholic, I can't remember where it was during North, the Catholic students that were Catholic. So I think there's also been a pattern. I know that even the borders, the roads are also insecure, but it's everywhere. And that's why we're concerned, because where do we draw the line? Where does it start? Where do we get, when do we get angry enough? Yes, I know the president is culpable, but I think the governors also must take responsibility.
Security vote.
If you are getting security vote, you are giving them money, they are not doing what they are supposed to do. Why let us know now. Why are they romancing themselves?
Exactly.
That means you are not ready. You are playing this thing yo-yo with our lives.
Yes. We heard that there was supposed to be some helicopter that was supposed to have been, I heard that it's not been coupled. There's so many, they purchased some helicopter, it hasn't been coupled. These are lives.
Over a year ago.
These are lives. Over
a year ago.
Oh, there's
Say you are still going to want to borrow. We are borrowing. If you are even borrowing the money to cure insecurity, we will understand. We'll be grateful. Say our savior has come.
Well, there's definitely so much that still needs to be done, and we're hoping can be done. But just to wrap up real quick, we're moving away from insecurity, and like I said, I was trying to look for a little, gleam of light and hope in the papers. And on Daily Independent, we see that federal government is canvassing for, it says federal government taps non-formal education to boost youth empowerment and job creation.